Not yet? We are live!
Now we're live!
Wayne's World, party time, excellent!
We got a great group here. We are just a minute early, but that's okay because we're just checking out the tech because tech is tech and it likes to be fickle and finicky. But it looks like we are live. I see us live. See it locked. Fix it. So on my personal Facebook, everybody, I don't know how to fix this setting. I'll figure it out later, but it's locked, so we have to go in and unlock it. Tech stuff, I don't need to tell you about. Anyway, we're live!
We're live!
Yay!
Should I share it on my page? Should we all share it on our page?
Yeah, you all share it on your page.
We have like 1 minute, so like let's share it.
Everyone
Everyone
make sure you're sharing.
on your page. Just look my boobs look
Okay,
cute.
We're like at Herb's Cats, you can't,
All right, be quiet because I'm going to do the intro.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. I am Zoe Soul with Let's Get Witchy. I am, hello, Sarah. Hello, Claire. Hello, Bianca. I've already seen that a few of you are tuning in. I am super excited for this very special edition because I have some of the people nearest and dearest to my heart here with me today on this very special edition of Let's Get Witchy. Hello, Kate. We are talking about Otherkins. Woo!
We're weird.
So, hello, Brianna. So, just for those of you that don't know what Otherkin are people that do not identify as strictly human. They identify as some other species. They carry the essence, or they have incarnated as another species. So,
I'm a species right here.
Here today we've got a mixture, everything ranging from like alien to werewolf to fae, and I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and talk about how they identify. And we're also going to be answering questions from all of you. And so if you have any questions, you are welcome to ask them. Thank you so much, Bianca, for saying my dress is amazing because I actually love this outfit and I reserve it for very special occasions. And this is a special occasion. So quick note, normally I will do the second half of the hour giving readings. Because it's a special edition, we've got these guests. I'm not going to do that today. I start the show. These lovely people behind me are stars. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Our cameraman's an alien.
That's actually true. Our cameraman is an alien.
He's busy alienating over there with his tech. He's
1 second. It looks like there's an echo. People are complaining about an echo. So we've got a few cameras going on today, you guys. So we're just going to check all of the cameras to make sure that.
River, yes!
Some identify as aliens. So is the echo better? Can you guys let us know on the live feed if we're still echoing or if it's gotten a little bit better? Please let us know. Hi, Jonna. This is new to me. Identify as mythical creatures? Yes, that is exactly what we're talking about. I know
We're
this.
mythical?
we're mystical, mythical, and
We're
magical.
mystical.
Magnificent.
And not so mythical. So why don't we, can you scroll down, Zach? Because I need to see if the echo has been fixed.
Some of
The
us,
echo is gone!
Oh.
Yay!
some of us are still waiting for the mothership to come get us and get us out of here.
Yeah.
We're opening
They all
portals
know.
so we can walk up, run through, and get out of this dimension. But you know.
By the way, everybody, this is obviously a rambunctious group. So this is going to be a very interesting episode, and we're just going to go with it.
This looks like the occult version of Good Morning America.
Exactly.
I would watch that show every day.
Yes, I would.
All right, let's go ahead and start with the lovely Cara. Cara, please tell everybody here.
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself.
Hello. My name is Cara Joy, also known as Furnaby Wiles. That is the name that came through for my fairy name, but I actually identify as an alien fae, which basically means, as I've been taught, that there are elementals on this planet, which means that there are also elementals on other planets and other realms, and I am not necessarily from this elemental fae. I'm from a different planet somewhere else that I haven't figured out yet. That's part of the journey. So I'm about 5 years on this path, but alien fairy is very new to me.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes. and Sir Jeffrey.
Hi. So everyone knows me as Jeffy, the one and only. Jeffrey Lord here. So I am an unseelie fae. My fae name, which I have never shared, and I decided today would be a good time to share it. Alacor is my fae name. And I've been on this path for the last 18 years. I consider myself a druid, and it's definitely the darker side, very darker, more vivid side of the Shadow Realm and everything for the unseelie. So, Alacor.
Yes, mermaids.
Hi, Carlos. Hi, Sarah. We have Sarah saying, I strongly believe I am a mermaid fae, which I am super excited because I am also in that realm. I identify as an unseelie fae, and I, just like Jeffrey, but I am specifically a water fae. I'm still kind of figuring that out, as I've always been a shapeshifter my whole life. And
She got some siren energy going on.
I got a little bit
Her
of
siren? No.
So yes, I am Zoe Soul, and I am a fairy witch, and I obviously, for those of you that know me and have been following this channel, I work with the fae, but I also identify as a siren. So there we go.
Hey guys, my name is Daley South. Some of you may know who the heck I am, some of you may not.
She's a big deal.
Not anymore. I am the retired queen of the Vampire Court of Austin, and I identify as a vampire fairy. So a vampire is just someone who requires an alternative source of human energy to maintain their health and well-being.
That would be me.
And we're already going there.
I feel
Yes.
bad. I gave them alcohol.
This is
And,
It's
delicious.
a white claw.
It's delicious. Thank you.
And then I also identify as a Seelie Fae, specifically the she from Ireland. I have a lot of family over in Ireland. So, then I think we'll get deeper into those discussions as we go. And this is my beautiful husband.
Oh, this is where I say my name?
This is where
Hi,
we have do
my
what
name
you're
is
apparently
Menor.
gonna do.
My name is Logan South, and I identify as a meat popsicle. It's the best way to put it. No, so I've got I've got some vampire stuff, I've got some werewolf stuff, but I'm also a completely disillusioned type of person when it comes to a lot of elements. I think that they're very real, and I don't view that they're as special as I used to. So there we go.
So Claire says, this chat is really interesting to sit on because literally this week I was explaining that I'm ENBY, non-binary, because none of the other genders feel right. Claire, thank you so much for bringing that up, because actually in a lot of indigenous cultures, people who were born non-binary are actually considered shamans, witches, whatever, kind of mystic, mystic word you want to use for it, but they are actually considered very sacred people because they have the ability to see into the other realm and to tap into the other realm. So people that are non-binary or dual gendered or kind of fall in that spectrum of not male or not female have been really revered in indigenous cultures for a long time. And for those of you who've been following me, you know my view, and I may talk about it later, on why we are having such a resurgence of this today. And I do have my theory on that, but again, I want to make sure that these lovely folks.
It's the 5G, isn't it?
It's the 5G!
We all have 5G now.
Yeah. It's the
All
5G.
right.
Okay, so we have a really good mix of people here. And so I just want to go ahead and give us all the opportunity to talk about, at what point did you kind of realize in your life that you were different, or that you might be otherkin? Like, when did that concept come into your head?
Where are we
Do
going?
you want to start, Logan?
Oh, he does not.
Oh, I'd be glad to.
You asked for this.
I know, this would be fun. This would be fun.
Put on your seatbelts.
I've always told stories about, when I had my vampire awakening, at around 15, but
Same
I've
thing.
never really talked a lot about the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And, I feel like in many ways, the other side is, it's something that's more innate, that just came naturally. There was not really the same kind of awakening process. It just was something that I was always about. And, that would be the whole wolf element. And that's something that was personal to me because of my my views, my connections, my the spirituality, as well as my history, being a mixed race Native person and coming from tribes that revered those animals, and I always did so since I was really young. And so as far as that was something that was always with me, and then later I awakened to having, vampiric elements. And then I spent about a good 15 plus years working with both of those and, building certain elements of communities and things like that. And I've learned that these wonderful, special things about me that I heralded so much and had such trouble awakening to, or just came naturally, either or, that they're all just part of who I am, just like anything else is part of whoever anybody else is. I feel like the conversation around it is more concerned with how interesting or different, or what I don't view it as anything different than somebody just naturally being inclined to love the beach or wanting to be a carpenter. It's just part of who I am. It's not a big deal. That's me.
Did you, so I have a question about that. At what point though, were you able to actually identify that it was werewolf, or it was like, was there ever a point where you're like, oh, aha, it clicked and you had the terminology?
So I have never used the term werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
I won't.
Okay.
Werewolf implies a direct transition between wolf and man, a shifting form.
Right.
I'm not one of those people who's like, oh yeah, if you piss me off, I'm gonna shift and I'm gonna sprout hair on my face. And, that doesn't happen. It's never happened. If you claim that it has, you're lying. Or I need to get you on video camera so we can make a bunch of money.
I have never been able to sprout hair from my face.
Right. You grow real tall ears and a big snout. Maybe after a cocaine bender or something. I don't know. But the point is,
Cocaine.
It's just, that's not a transitional thing. It's just there was a certain canine aspect, a certain lupin aspect that was always a part of me that I think a lot of people share in a whole wide range of different spiritual concepts. And even people who just claim that they have a strong love for animals and just connect with them, they share that kind of thing. And I think, it kind of gets a bad rap when it comes to like, oh, are you a werewolf? And then people talking, in the crazy context about, oh, I'm going to shift or I'm going to walk around on all fours. And,
I walk around on fours.
So,
I have seen it. Yes.
So it kind of sounds like what you're talking about, which is kind of the view that I take on it being unseelie, is that it's more about embodying the essence of what that energy is. And it's about like from early on just kind of knowing that like I have these traits and these qualities of who I am.
It's just something that's innate. It's something that, you either have or you don't. And, I think that when people hyper focus on the hows and the whys, how did this come about? When did it come about? What specifically? I think you lose the translation of the importance of it, which is we all feel independently unique parts of ourselves that are no less right or wrong because someone else had a different experience or because mythology wrote it this way. You are what you are. Accept it.
Werebear.
You're not even that special.
And there you have it. From our meat popsicle in the corner.
Hey. Everyone's fucking weird. That's it.
Yeah. What's everyone what's everyone drinking tonight? I think that there's some curiosity.
I had a little bit of White Claw and like a little bit of wine, that's it. But I haven't been drinking during the pandemic much at all, so it doesn't take a ton.
Iced tea.
Iced tea.
I wish I could say the same, but that's not true.
Yeah, total sobriety for me.
We don't know what she's drinking.
I never drank straight whiskey out of a glass.
And I'm sober.
Yay! She is! She's got
Yes,
it.
she is. Actually is. We drink so she doesn't have to.
That's right. I just steal a little bit.
Steal a little bit.
A bit.
Just
My
a
dear
little.
Daley, will you please talk about how did you know?
So, as a child, I was a very feral child. I was very fey as a child.
Just as a child?
Well, look, we getting there.
Wait, she's not.
We're starting.
She's an adult.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I play an adult on jail. I play adult on TV. But I was very feral as a child. I had a boyfriend who was a tree. I talked to the wind. I was always outside. My poor parents could not keep clothes on me to save their lives. I was like the epitome of a nature child. And I would have conversations with bugs and birds, and I was always in the trees and I was talking to the trees. And like I remember very specifically that I could have that communication. And it wasn't something that was strange to me. It was just like, oh, I mean, doesn't everybody have this? You know, it's
Can we back up to the boyfriend was a tree
I
part?
told you about that. You know about my boyfriend that was a tree, and then he got chopped down, and I was depressed for like 3. Yeah, it was very sad. I know, it was so bad. I was like
I mean,
9 years old, and it was very depressing for me.
I mean, have we met all the exes? I mean, hey, they all get chopped down as trees eventually.
From now on, I'm going to be comparing myself to an oak.
Oh dear.
I like
Anyways,
oaks.
so that was my childhood, and then up at 15, I had my vampiric awakening, and I sort of suppressed my fae nature because it just didn't make sense for the current path that I was following. Awakening as a vampire is very, very different than awakening as fae. Vampires require a source of energy to maintain themselves.
Hello.
And it has to be a living energy. It can't just be like, oh, I took energy from the tree or the sun, or like it has to. Yes, I've been feeding from Jeffrey for 8 years. Everyone can move on now.
Yes.
But yes, I awakened at 15, and I was very much in my vampirism, and it took me a very long time to become comfortable with that path. And then I got with Logan 10 years ago, and we started running the Vampire Court of Austin. And so being a vampire was pretty much all I had time for. That was literally the only path that I had room for in my life. But I always kind of knew there was something else, and this asshole always knew there was something else, but I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to believe it. I was too focused on my vampirism and growing in that path. And then, about 3 or 4, well, when did I awaken? Ooh. So about 5 years ago, I started having a lot of people.
You better get it right. There are dedicated fans out there who are going to hit you
bad.
with your own pass.
I feel bad. I had about 5 years ago, I started having people approach me, and they were like, you have so much fae energy around you. And in this period of time, like, I was vamped out. Like, I looked like fucking Akasha from Underworld. Like, there was nothing fae
I
looking.
ran a lot.
Yes, there was nothing fae looking about me at this time. But I was constantly getting approached by, like, psychics and just people that were out, and they're like, oh my God, the fae energy around you. And I'm like, oh, it's because I eat fae. I eat fae, and that's why there's fae energy around me. But little did I know that people were just picking up on something that I was refusing to believe. And it took me a long time. I was constantly getting so angry at people. They were like, oh, you're so fae. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm a vampire, and that's all that I am, and that's all that I want to be. And then in I don't know what year it was, like 2017. It was right after we got married. I started having my reawakening as fae and reconnecting with things that I did as a child. And my husband was sitting here the whole time, like, laughing, like, I knew it, and I told you so, and you just didn't want to believe it. And yeah, it was funny, but horrible at the same time. And finding the balance, because I am Seelie fae. I am not unseelie. So having the vampiric side and having that darkness and that desire to feed and that need to take in energy from living sources, and then being Seelie fae and being drawn to the sunlight and the bright, beautiful springtime and life, and wanting to make life and give life and help things grow.
No making life.
No, it's okay.
No.
Not that kind of life.
No making
Nature.
No,
Helping things grow.
no making life.
And being out in nature and growing flowers, and just having those two sides. It was really hard for me, and so my vampirism kind of went dormant for a while. And I was very much just fae, and I kind of had a freak out where I was like, oh man, did my vampirism vanish? Like, oh, does this happen? Like, I've never heard of this happening. But then when I was able to do the shadow work course with Zoe, and I kind of relearned, okay, it's a balance. And so since then I've been able to balance myself a lot more. And so my fae side, I would definitely say, is up here, and then my vampirism is definitely here. But there's days where we kind of alternate.
Yes.
So look how Jeffrey's just over there peanut gallerying. Yes, she tries to eat me regularly, and it's
I'm a buffet for her. It's
oh my.
A buffet?
A buffet.
These are my friends, you guys.
Friends.
Okay.
Next time somebody asks you what kind of fae you are, you have to say buff.
I'm a twig.
You're a buffet.
I'm a
Buffet.
my word.
My word.
I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
Why does Logan look like Sam and Dean Winchester? That's on purpose.
Because this has actually just been a 10-year plot to get you all in one room to hunt you.
Oh,
Okay, I'm fine.
sexy.
Alright.
Okay,
St.
so
Paul is parked right
Jonna
outside.
asked a question.
His brother's outside, right?
Jonna asked a question. So you can be many things. Does one have these energies since birth and then they come out later in life? Yes.
Maybe.
That's what I would say. Some
Sure.
people are born
Definitely.
awakened and they just know and they never really have that awakening moment. Some people awaken later in life, usually around puberty. At least for vampirism, that's how it is. Most vampires awaken around puberty, and I'm sure that's similar for most people of any other kin type.
Or if you get bitten by a radioactive leprechaun.
Yeah, that's
That's
also
also
an
an
option. Might happen. You know,
What?
we're not going to rule out anything.
Yeah.
So Jonna, thank you for bringing that up. That is actually a really important fact. Is that of course you can be mixed and you can be different species. And basically, these are energies. These are essences that live and exist in nature, and
Like
that
a
they
liger.
incarnate in
Like a liger?
human form. A liger?
A liger.
Oh,
Yeah,
a
two
liger.
different species.
Yes.
Do
Pretty
it.
much my favorite animal.
It's doing the thing.
Yeah. Two-pronged penis.
There you go. Two prongs.
So Zoe, tell us about you.
Yes, Zoe.
Okay.
Who are you?
Who am
Anita,
I?
darling, tell us.
So, I mean, pretty much similar to what, Logan and Daley said. As a child, I always could feel that I was different, and I could just feel, I just felt how I was, but it was like, it was not just human. There were these other aspects of myself, and I connected very deeply with the Fae. They would come to me in dreams. I would talk to them. I also had a friend. My best friend was named Malcolm, who was a tree.
Yes, trees.
And that's actually interesting because it's a thing that I find really common among Fae is that we tend to, especially as children, have friends that are plants. Go figure. But with Malcolm, I had this deep connection with him, and I didn't label it as a kid because I didn't have that vocabulary. It wasn't like I just knew. And then when I became a teenager, what is this space?
Did you name your plant Malcolm
I
after
did.
Malcolm in the Middle?
No,
Yeah, after Freddie?
no.
No?
I just like the name. I
I
thought
don't
it was
believe you.
cute. No, I never watched Malcolm in the Middle. I don't watch TV. But that's a whole other thing. Thank you. But basically, it was pretty much. I went through this phase when I hit puberty, where honestly, you guys, I had this deep fear of spontaneously combusting. I know that sounds weird. And I also had this deep fear of going insane. And looking back on that now, I can see that underneath that, now I was diagnosed with anxiety, but I could feel it was like under my skin. I could feel
Feel
this,
like your blood's burning as it explode out of your body.
this energy.
That's
and I didn't
terrifying.
know what
It's normal.
to do with it.
Sounds familiar.
And also, the way that I could describe it with my mind is like I would find my thoughts kind of teetering on this precipice of feeling like I could go to the other side is the only way that I could explain it, where I could feel sort of like this dimension and this reality, and then there was this other dimension and reality that was calling me. And I felt very much like I could go between the two, but I was afraid of this reality, the spiritual reality, because I was afraid that would make me crazy. So I would hold back from the edge, and I just had this fear. And really, I know now as an adult and having been on my spiritual path, that had I been given the tools and understood that all of that, that fear, those feelings, those being able to tune into another reality, being able to pick up on everybody's emotions and feel everything, was really me just being Fae. And that actually, these are gifts that are wonderful. And we all have gifts. And I am with Logan in that, it doesn't make you special or better than, regular humans. It really doesn't. It's just, this is just who we are. It's no better than being, I don't know, it's like how people might be Mexican, which I am, or Asian, or whatever. These are just traits of who we are. And so in no way are we saying that we're better than humans, but it's just being aware that this does exist. And so later in life, what happened was a lot of people started saying, you're an indigo child. And for those of you who are...
Indigo!
Yeah,
What?
yeah. And
What is that?
an indigo child child that they have this like special aura, and they have like, it's kind of like a luminescent indigo aura, and they're basically
So you're purple glow sticks.
yes, we're purple glow sticks.
Cool, I see that.
Yeah.
Slightly ill-tempered badgers.
But to be
Cody.
honest, like
Mr. Grady, yes.
oh my god, I feel like we need more than an hour. Anyway, that didn't sit right with me, and I'm not saying I'm not an indigo child. It just was like, okay,
Yeah, I
but it didn't land. It didn't land with me. And then I started a YouTube channel a long time ago because I was fascinated by Fae, and I was talking about fairies, and then someone asked a question like, can a person be fairy? And something about that, it was like somebody else posing the question to me, and then a light bulb went off, and it was like, holy fuck. And it just kind of landed in my body, where it was like, I always knew this, but I didn't have the terminology. So there was something really wonderful about having that term and being able to drop into it and have a better understanding of who I am. And so that's kind of been my journey. And, you know, you guys, I've actually been really private about this part of myself. I identify as a fairy witch, but I haven't talked openly about this because, you know, because of our culture and how our culture views people like us. It's like, I don't want to be labeled as crazy. And it really wasn't honestly until I met you, Daley, and I saw somebody that was just so open with who she was and embracing of who she was, that it was an inspiration for me. And I realized, you know what, I can just be who I am in the world. And those people that, you know, don't accept it, they're not my people. And I don't have to explain myself, and I don't have to, like, you know, try to make it okay for them, right? Like, I can just be okay with who I am, and the right people will let me for it. So that's been my journey with it. And I'm happy to be here.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey, my dear, tell us.
Jeffrey, tell us.
Oh,
What is
hello.
Jeffrey?
Tell us.
So so I'll be 33 next month here coming up, and
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Jeffrey, you look very tasty.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
No dark
Thank you, Flynn.
Other
Thank you so
vampires
much.
are like, yes, Jeffrey available.
I am very tasty to many vamps, especially this one over here.
Oh dear.
So I have actually, I've been doing the craft for over 18 years. Going on 19 come October, and with my, oh wait, I don't know any of you except Jeffrey. Hi, Jeffrey, I miss you. But all of you look amazing. Thank you for being brave and sharing.
You're
Amanda.
welcome.
Hi, Amanda. Amanda, it's so good to see you, baby.
Someone just had to give Jeffrey exclamation marks.
All right. So in regards of everything, so I've been doing the practice for over 18 years, and there's a ranch I go to, Dragon Wild, and in 2013 is when I first attended it. And there's a thing called the high seat, which is it's a very, very like just joyous and amazing ceremony called the high seat, which is the arch druid gets together and calls forth all the people that come to it. And this is only performed like once every ever so often, and it's been a long time since it's been performed. So the arch druid is there, the high priestess is, I was calling her the oracle. Oh my gosh. So Mr. Cody Grady over here will know exactly what I'm talking about, because yes, that is exactly where we met. So I go up to it, and they're like, you ask a question of the high seat, and that's it. You just ask one question. You do not touch the high seat. If you're a male, if you touch the chair, you will die. I mean, like, there was bugs that touched it and would literally just die like, minutes afterwards. It's a very, very sacred practice. So anyways, so I personally... Hello,
Death chair? What? Death chair? What?
So anyways, so it was in 2013, and I was like, all right, I'll approach the high seat, and I did. And when I did, I asked the question, am I Fae? Is my path to Fae? Because when I started really getting into everything, I've always been affiliated with like Merlin, the Wise, King Arthur, all that lovely lore and everything else like that. And the high seat, she, who Gloria, I call her the Oracle, she looked at me and she reached out her hand, and she has two guards next to her, and they have hatchets in their hands. If anyone touches the high seat, but this is a huge practice. You give consent and everything, and they will, this is a very sacred thing. They will literally cut your hand off. And she reached out to me, some practices are like this, and she reached out to me.
Am I hearing right?
Yes, this is a little
You
weird.
can't touch without
Anyways,
consent. You cut your hand off.
but anyways,
That's
so
normal.
going forward, she reached out to me, and we had a connection, a very spiritual connection, and she informed me that yes, I am Fae, and this is my path. I've always been Fae. I've always been here, and I've always felt a very spiritual connection with Earth, the elements, and all that other such. And since then, that's where my path of Druids has really taken off. And I was realizing that I wasn't really Seelie like I was thinking. I'm Seelie. I'm very the dark side, the shadow realm of Fae. There's 7 different courts.
Don't get him wrong. You can frolic with the best of them, but.
Oh yes, I can. But I'm very the dark
Until
side.
you cut his hand off.
Right.
I'm the dark aspect of the Fae, so I consider myself a very unseelie Fae. And Zoe and I, since we met all those years ago,
Yeah.
we've really connected and really understood each other. That this
Well,
is
what's
the path.
interesting is the first time we met, I was actually performing at Dragon's Wild,
Yep,
and it was very instant. And I have to say, it's true of all of us, right?
It's called the
we
Beacon.
met,
that's where I met
and
you.
it was like right? And when we saw each other, it was just this ping, and
And I
It's
was
called
known-
the Beacon. That's what we use in the vampire community. It's called the Beacon. Is when you can recognize someone else because
You
of
just
their
know.
energy.
And
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was sitting in the audience, and I started listening, and the song "Particles of Light" is what really caught me. And I was just like, I felt like when you started singing that song, I felt like I was like, wait a minute, I've heard this before. Never heard the song in my life, but I felt like I've heard this in a past life. And I felt a huge spiritual connection, and you were there as well. And that's where you and I completely met. There's a video you can see. You go, oh, I'm the king of the Fae, and this. And so, anyway,
Funny.
but with my path, I am Eva Unseelie. I consider myself a druid. I've gone very earthy and very dark sided of the Fae side, which is a lot of people really don't appreciate. They are very afraid of it or otherwise. But overall, I have to say that it's been an experience, and I definitely thank you most of all, because I felt like you, Daley, Cara, and Logan, and Zeph, being part of this coven, we have really moved forward, and it's really opened up a lot of different doors, and I really like where my path is taking me. So yeah, I look at things very darker side, and if you want to come over there, just ask me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.
I want to touch on that really quickly. So the way that I describe Unseelie is it's sort of like it's not good or bad, right?
Yeah.
It's more that the Unseelie, they like the shadow, they like the darkness.
It's the winter
court. And so it's sort of like people are like, oh, don't mess with the Unseelie. And I talk about it in terms of okay, it's more of like a thunderstorm or a tiger or a liger, right? It's not that it's bad. It's just that it needs to be treated with respect.
It
And
does.
so the Unseelie side, it's not that it's bad. It's just you need to tread it with caution and with deep reverence for what it actually is.
The Seelie, everyone hears the Seelie and Unseelie. Seelie is all the good and everything, but they're very mischievous. Where the
They're playful.
Unseelie are you're supposed to look at them as very respected, but keep a distance, but view with a good eye and pleasure and everything. It's really interesting how it is. A lot of people have very different. A lot of people have different views on it, and I respect that. But for me, it's the Seelie are very mischievous, have fun, happy-go-lucky, and the Unseelie,
fucking flowers.
the Unseelie come by, and you just really want to respect them and enjoy the moment that is, and let them offer what they can.
We gotta. So we
that's
should.
fun. I like
We should
that.
probably.
Yes!
Hail Satan!
I
Hail
like
Satan!
I bind, rebuke, and enslave against all of the Satan's worshippers by the mightiest name of the Yahwashi
Hail
God.
Satan!
Master, I pray, amen, by sending angels to wage wars offensively against our demons.
Hail Satan!
Oh, I love you for Israelite. You are gorgeous. You want to have tea sometime? I'm showing you down.
Oh my god, we have to get to Cara.
Yes,
Yes,
let's get to Cara. Anyways, bye.
But to be honest, it's kind of a good segue for me too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus. I love them folks. They're so fun.
I love
This
them.
is actually
We
Lucifer's
do-
ring.
We do love you.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta remake Lucifer's ring from the show. So.
But anyways, that's the only season
Hail
from
Satan.
my point of view. Anyways, Cara, tell us about you because you, girl, whoa, wow.
Very alien all the time.
Okay, so the rebuking was actually really fun. I am a pastor's child. So this has been a really interesting path for me because I literally grew up from infancy in the Christian faith. And I had always been a very strange child from the very beginning. I was deemed the unicorn like pretty early on in life because of my tendencies. And ironically, my parents are actually the people who taught me about the Fae. They are very magical people, and my dad would put on Irish accents and he would tell me silly stories, and I took things very much to heart. And whenever I went into the woods, like I felt that energy. I felt that things were around me, and you know, this connection to the God that they taught me about. I only really felt that in nature. I never actually felt that in the church itself. I felt it when I was outside, and I felt it when I was like on my own, literally communing with the real like source that I understand now. And as far as how I became an alien fae, this is a very new term for me. All I remember is that for as long as I can remember, I fell asleep looking out windows, like just feeling this constant sense of wanting to go home. And I just felt something so, probably gonna start crying, I can't guarantee
It's okay, we're here for
You're
you.
not gonna make me cry, honestly. I'm like, the energy right now that Cara is giving off is absolutely.
You want a shot?
Shots, gonna make me cry more. So I just fell asleep looking at the stars every single night because I felt that there was something out there that felt more familiar to me than this planet had ever felt. Not that I didn't connect to this planet. It was just very different, and I had a lot of disassociation episodes that would come on very randomly. Like I'd be brushing my hair in the mirror, and then all of a sudden, everything would just vanish around me, and I didn't know where I was anymore. Like I was looking at my hands and my face, and I was like, what is this? Like where the fuck am
You
I?
were literally having the same thing that I was having.
Yeah, I have that too.
Because I
That's
was like in a darker, like I was where I was, but
Like, are
completely
these
darker
ghosts?
sense
Yeah.
of everything that was.
Yeah.
And wow, that's okay. We're gonna talk a little bit more because yeah.
Really appreciating the dramatic zoom cam.
Yes.
Right now.
Thank you, Seth, for being amazing. So as far as like getting to these terms, like the people were obviously set into my life that I'm trying to like figure out how the timeline worked on this one. It took 1 year for me to totally dismantle everything that my parents had taught me, everything. Because inherently my soul knew that it was incorrect from the very beginning. And I had questions the entire time. So I had an angry phase where I was just like, fuck the selfish God. And when that finally came to a head, I met a person who would later become my partner and first love. And he had been very much in this path of understanding the outer worlds and the outer cosmos. And that's when I went to Burning Man. And yes, I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Like, it's actually very magical. If you haven't been, it's wonderful. And it is a whole new world. And this idea of creating a new world that is just full of absolute expression and beauty and non-judgment and self-sustainment and radical reliance. Like, it's a very beautiful concept. But Alien, I feel like I'm derailing. Alien happened when I went to Australia, and I met a person who suddenly just made it click in. Like, there's really no, I can't explain any deeper than, like, they're like, you're an alien, and I'm like, Oh. It makes a huge amount of sense now that I'm just not entirely from here. Not that I'm not from here. I want to be clear about that. Like, obviously I'm human. Obviously I'm here. I had a shamanic experience where what they told me was that one of my biggest lessons here back on this planet is that I need to heal my relationship with this planet. And what that basically meant is that I had been able, I'm going to get a little bit woo-woo here for a second.
Get this.
You know where we are.
I know where we are.
You're good,
So I had already reached a level of ascension is what I have come to discover. I had reached a past Earth ascension that I didn't want to come back to Earth. I didn't want to have to come back and do this all over again because it's exhausting, you guys. It's so exhausting. And I came back because I understood how important this place was. I understood how important the reclamation of this planet and healing this planet and being a human / whatever the fuck we are, and not.
You're making me cry. I'm not gonna lie. You're actually making me cry. It's beautiful.
You guys, this planet is on a really beautiful path right now, and the expression of your true self is so important. So whatever you feel like you are, and it doesn't matter, you have been everything and you are everything. So whatever makes you feel comfortable right now is the most important thing that I can tell you about. So whatever makes you feel like yourself, whatever you want to show, the freakiest plague that you can fly, freak legs all the way, just do it, because that's what our planet needs right now. And that's not really explaining why I'm an alien, but
He gave you crimes.
He gave you crimes.
I have to definitely
Yeah.
say that of anyone in this room right now, Cara is such a healer, and the power and the magic that you bring, not just to this group, but to everyone that you meet. She is always a joyous person, and I have to definitely say, like, if you get to know
That's why I got another
Cara,
silly fade.
yeah.
if you get to know Cara, you know exactly what she is talking about. She thinks outside of the box of what humans believe, and it's completely okay, and it's all right to really think this way. So people, if you think differently than others, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with you. Just remember that there's nothing wrong with you at all.
Cody asked
Zero.
about
This is how you
celestials.
are.
To me, celestials always were like more angelic.
Make me cry.
So starseed would be the other.
Starseed is a term for sure. I've come to learn other things. We're already at 40 minutes. This is an hour is not a long time. There are a lot of different alien species. We live in an infinite universe, so that's a whole other thing that we can talk about at a different time. But celestial beings, yes, I am a celestial being. I am from somewhere else, but I am also learning to reconnect with the elemental fae and the earth goddess energy, as she is also a celestial being. Earth itself
no, entirely.
is a celestial being that we're
agree,
living
yes.
on, and we are divine in our own essence, just living on a divine planet. So yeah, it's been a real interesting path, and I honestly didn't know what I was going to say today, so I didn't know all this was going to come out. So thank you for listening.
That's perfect. Thank
Made
you
me
so
cry,
much,
girl.
Cara.
I gotta redo my makeup before we go out. Shoot.
God, beautiful. You know, Claire actually had a comment earlier, and it was something along the lines of, how do we deal with people outside telling us we need to grow up? Here it is.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
cope and
Thank
deal
you, Zeph.
with when people tell you need to grow up because this isn't real? I saw a comment like that earlier. You must hear it outside the community a lot.
I usually
yeah.
respond by going,
You saw
who
it.
are you and why are you in my house?
We just had fun. with it.
Honestly, like I honestly don't hear it too much anymore. I think it's because I've removed any type of people that would say something like that. So really, the only time I would hear it is if I'm on like a live stream on YouTube. That's because people come on looking to be negative. Oh, Cara, we love you.
I really like the option of just telling people to go fuck themselves.
Pretty much.
It's pretty much worked for me, you know. It's how Dad did it. It's how America does it, and it's worked out pretty well so far.
Oh,
I mean, if you really, I mean, there's a lot of people in my life that have really just said the same thing. But I've told them, it's like, you know what? This is how I think. This is how I am. This is who I am. If you don't like it, go fuck off. I don't care about you anymore.
Also-
Bye. Here's the door. I'm gonna let that thing hit you.
The way that I look at it is like, you know, I believe that the reemergence of this energy, because there was a time, you guys, were on the planet, humans and fae and all of these different beings interacted freely, and there was no, that's not real. It was just very much accepted. And then we entered into this place with humanity where everything was about logic and science and reason. And don't get me wrong, all of that is amazing, but we really started to disconnect from nature, and part of that disconnection was the disconnection from these other parts of who we are, the nature of what our soul is, and that we actually we can embody so much more than just the human, you know, the human, what the human is. And so I think that trying to fight people that are still in that mindset and trying to convince them isn't going to work. It's like people are going to come to it in their own time. And then in the meantime, like, that's fine if you want to tell me to grow up or, you know, have opinions about my life. But I honestly, like, I kind of feel sorry for you if I'm 100% honest, because I'm freaking happy. Like, I am happy. This is our dog.
He's so mad right now that no one's paying attention to him.
He has been at our feet trying to get our attention.
Who gives a fuck about Otherkins? There's a fucking chihuahua.
This is what we call goblins.
Oh, if any creature on this planet were to be the embodiment of a goblin, it's a chihuahua.
It's that one for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people that say things like, "Oh, you need to grow up," like that's not real. Believe in a magical, all-seeing man in the sky.
Right.
So it's like,
So very
Hey,
different than the belief of the talking snake in the magic garden, and then throwing them into a desert, and then floods happen.
call me by your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cara! All right.
We don't, our job is not to convince or convert people.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
I
what we care
No,
about.
you don't see us going door to door shoving our religion down your throats.
Could be fun,
Said
though.
it.
Could be fun.
Ooh, Jennifer Stover. Love hearing about all of your awakenings and personal life experiences while on the path to find your true selves. Much love from Hawaii.
Oh, I
And
love
to
Hawaii.
Weird.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never been to Hawaii.
Oh, go to Hawaii.
All right.
Yeah, girl, you're in
That's
Hawaii.
one of
You're
my-
already doing better
that's
than
one of
anyone
my-
else here.
I've been 3 times, but I need to go
Amazing.
back immediately. So.
But I have to definitely say, you know, it's like when, with everything, like with all the awakenings and how we are, this is who we resonate really comfortably with, and I really do love
Yeah, and
how
we're
people,
happy. We're
yeah,
happier
we're
than-
happy.
we're
We're
happier
happy
than
who
most
we are
people
and how
that
we are,
don't.
and we're moving. So, yes.
I am
And I got
all
a big
about
lesbian. That's true. They're pretty
With your loins.
gay over here. I just want to say that this is the happiest I've ever been in my life, and that's
Yes.
because of these
Same.
people
Yes.
that are next to me. And there's something
Are we
really
joining
powerful.
hands?
Join hands, Cara.
Wait.
Join-
Y'all motherfuckers
Zach,
start
get
doing a
over here.
ritual. I'm out. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Logan is not a witch.
No.
That's okay.
He
Not at all.
Oh, God.
He watches us with amazement, but
Come
then
into the
that's it.
camera. That's
Zep.
Zeb is the alien
arms.
arm.
There's a
I just noticed. Okay, can I just say, Daley had a ex-boyfriend that was a tree, and then Logan came dressed as a lumberjack.
What's up, tree? What's up, Treeber?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
That's
Oh,
all.
man.
That's like some dark fairy tale stuff right
Yeah.
there. I absolutely love it.
I'm into it. I'm here for this. Oh, goodness.
I hope you were cut down and then printed out as our wedding certificate.
Oh, dang!
I'm kidding. Jesus Christ. That's so sad.
But I have to definitely say, I really do thank Zoe for like bringing us all on here and really letting us express ourselves and kind of sharing about our pathways and like where we've come from, you know. And it's absolutely beautiful because then we get to share it with you guys at home, wherever you are, like Finland to Hawaii. Like, damn!
We want to
Awesome.
inspire everyone to be themselves and not be afraid of who they are and just
Whatever
be able
that
to,
is.
just be able to be
Do
yourself
not be-
openly.
Do not be afraid of who you are. Be afraid of who I am.
My husband, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a good kisser.
He is. He's got this tongue, I don't know.
Call me by your name.
Dear.
Break my neck and put my horns on. Hey.
Jesus Christ, Big Bad Wolf
Those are
and the
big old-
Woodsman.
Yeah, girl.
But also, as you guys can see, all the range of personalities here, right here, and actually, before we did this, Daley was like, we have a very interesting group. And like, this is perfect
We do.
though,
We do, though.
because it really just goes to show that like, whoever you are, you fit somewhere. And find a group of people that are gonna embrace you for who you are and just love you for who you are. And not only that, but like help you discover more of who you are. Because that's been what a lot of this process has been. There are people that maybe otherkin that don't know yet, but maybe you've always felt something within you and you're just starting to like identify what that is. These things can awaken at any point in your life.
Mhm.
And so hopefully this will serve as a vehicle for those of you that are out there and maybe trying to figure this out on your own, to let you know that you're not alone. We do exist and we're here, and
We do.
we just, you know, we're here to support you.
Yes. If you are having trouble at home, just know that there are people like you out there, like we are. It took us a while to all finally get together and really become something. So out there is
Something.
someone out there for you guys. Don't
There's-
worry about it.
Might be
Keep your
multiple
hopes up.
people out there for you.
Embrace who you truly are and keep moving forward. Don't let anyone change you for who you are. Because seriously, look at us. We're batshit fucking weird, okay? I'm
We're
just saying.
Laura Messick had a really sweet comment. It was
We
up
love
on
you,
the screen,
Ella.
but I just wanted to give a shout out. Hi, Laura.
Yay.
Cara, read the comment, my dear.
I just want to say thank you all so much for doing this, and thanks to Zeph too for all the hard work behind the scenes. So too,
Woo,
thank you, Zeph.
Yeah,
It
boy.
makes me
He's
so
hot.
happy to see y'all. He is, y'all.
He's your sexy.
Yeah.
Being our authentic selves. Yes, no. Thank you, Laura. It's true. It's been a very interesting, weird path to get here, but I'm very stoked on these people. So
I think it's been a very interesting path for all of us. And
yeah.
the different experiences of what we've all gone through is just very just astounding. So yes.
Yeah. I do have a question that for those that want to answer. What has been the most challenging thing about being an otherkin?
The community.
Okay, that's okay. We're not gonna get into that. That's long.
The entire fucking community. All of it.
Communities are rough. There's
All
always
of
going to get that.
Okay,
The
so
whole
Logan's is the
community.
community. Daley, what about you?
For me, it was finding a balance between my two very, 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 very opposite sides. There's a reason why a lot of vamp fays end up going crazy and having a lot of mental illness issues, is because it's very hard to balance those two things. But I think you guys definitely helped me a freaking ton, because there was a period of time where I was like, I can't be both. I have to be one or the other. And just having you guys there to like help me balance that out has been super helpful. I have my push-up bra on today. I hope you guys. It is not. I did not get a boob job, y'all. I'm still itty bitty
Please don't tell her
titties.
she got a blue job. I'll never
It's
do it
just
again.
a great push-up bra from Victoria's Secret. But yes, finding a balance has been the hardest part, because it's like a constant battle in my brain at all times. I want to eat everything, but I also want to help everything live and grow and beautiful and sunshine. Oh, the sun! Oh, it's so beautiful out.
I just want to play video games.
He does.
That's all I
He's
want.
done well in
Yeah.
quarantine.
Yes, video games and like I like to cook some stuff. That's it.
But you chopped down a lot of trees during the snowpocalypse.
Because we might die. Yeah.
Yes.
What about
Yeah.
you, Cara?
As it turns out, when you don't have a choice, you chop down the tree.
Oh no. What about you, Cara? What's been the most difficult thing?
My most difficult thing is being able to share with my immediate family. This is very much me being on the show right now is a really big step for me, because I do not share this part of myself openly. And my family, as I said in the beginning, my dad is still a pastor. My parents are very religious, and the idea of being called crazy is definitely still very much prominent in the front of my brain. So yeah, it's being able to get past that initial fear of showing the truest expression of yourself, because unfortunately you will be unhappy until you fully express that part of yourself. So I'm very thankful to all of you. I definitely have to thank Zoe as well because she definitely snagged me.
Oh, I snagged you. I snagged you. And I was like, I see. If I see you all Otherkins, want to snatch you up. Yeah. Come here.
Jeffrey, hardest part.
I definitely have to say is just growing up, and I mean, I lived my whole life like being judged. You know, a lot of people being very judgmental towards me, and calling me weird, calling me an outcast, this and this. I got picked on when I was in high school, everything growing up.
Who didn't?
And I mean, yeah, but like with
We're
me,
like
it's been very, very hard. And within probably the last 5 or 6 years, you know, I'm 33 years old. 5 or 6 years ago, I just now really accepted myself, and I was like, I don't give a damn what anyone says about me.
Fuck him.
I don't care what anyone says about me. I'm gonna move forward. I am happy. I am in right now probably the best part of my life right now. And you know, I know there's a lot of my family members, and I know who you guys are. I know you guys talk behind my back and say that I'm crazy and this other stuff. I am going to tell you right now, to my family out there right now who think otherwise and think that I'm crazy for being a witch or otherwise, I absolutely don't give a flying rat's ass anymore. I am who I am today. I'm the happiest I've ever been, and I'm moving forward because of these people that are in my life. And because if you're not happy because I'm not happy, well, go fuck off. My great grandmother gave me the blessing, and so suck it.
Damn! Woo!
That's what I'm gonna say right now.
Yes.
My brother-in-law gave me a fucking blessing, and she said, "Embrace who you are." And she's watched me grown up, and she is so happy where I am. I mean, she's
Logan
dead
looks
now.
like he's gonna say
But
something.
yeah, I
I'm
just want to
just
say that.
still pondering the flying rat's ass part.
You know what? That's my family, and I don't really care
Flying
anymore.
rat's ass.
Flying
That's
rat's
There's a
very-
reason why. There's a reason I don't talk to you guys. So Zoe, what about you?
Oh my, hi.
I call them out. Don't care.
Fuck 'em!
I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy.
He seems it.
Yeah, how do you start the process of finding yourself if you don't even know where to start? Okay, Sarah, thank you so much for this question. People ask this a lot, like how do I know? And I really believe that the universe speaks to you
Yes.
if you talk to it. And so I'm always like, you know, my advice is not very flashy. It really is as simple as ask. Just ask. And through the action of asking, you know, the universe and asking spirit, source, whatever you call it, but asking, you know, show me signs, show me what I need to know, show me what I need to know about myself. It's that process where all of a sudden I start to meet the right people. I start to see little signs coming in. You know, I might start to have conversations like, you know, meeting you. I had moved to Austin, and I didn't know,
just moved to Austin as well.
and I didn't know anybody. And
So
I
happy
saw
you
her
did.
at a party, and it was like the beacon thing you're talking about, and we sat down and had this long conversation, and it was just like, I know that I need to know this woman. And there are people out there that can help you identify that, but just ask for them to come into your life, ask for the signs to come in. I'm also a big giant advocate of dream work. Dream work, I know. Dream work is very, very powerful. So if you don't remember your dreams, you can keep a little journal by your bedside, and as soon as you wake up, jot down anything you remember.
She's
Before
helped
you
me
know it,
so much
you'll-
by doing that. So much.
You
Oh
will
my
start.
God.
I used to remember things.
I recommend getting drunk in the woods.
Or
Yeah!
that.
Or
Naked
going
dancing.
on magical trips. You
I
know.
was like,
That's you and I. I think that's you and I, but true, yeah.
Bottle
one
of whiskey,
thing that
nice campfire. How much you can do.
Oh my gosh.
I do
Oh,
want to touch
whiskey
on what
campfires.
Zoe was saying about like asking for signs. I think the biggest thing that has been helpful to me is just this idea of remaining open. Like, I know that seems like such a broad concept, but when you start telling yourself, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, therefore anything can happen, and you just like allow that space to be free, that's when things started happening for me, when I just stopped questioning what was in front of me. At that point in time, I was like, okay, cool, like that's real now. Like,
Yeah.
and you just stop questioning.
Also-
Apparently they want more time.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Oh,
Also-
Bianca.
Real quick, I have to say thank you so much, Zoe, for letting us be on the show
Yes.
today.
This was so good.
And everyone that's like viewing in, wow, this is
Yes,
awesome.
thank
And
you.
I love that we're able to share our own path, our own journey, our own stories, and getting to connect a little bit more with everybody. Because this is the first time we've all been together since winter solstice. So
Yeah,
it's considered
pandemic
right now.
started.
Pandemic. comment here from Wabagwani. I know that I know how that is. My mom isn't accepting of what I identify as an overall. I do have a small group of friends. It's more like family. How do you all deal with people who don't accept who you are?
We don't talk to them.
You do not. If your family does not need to be blood. I live by this every single day. Your family does not need to be blood. You choose your family.
Okay, I have
They
something to
choose
say
you.
about this though. So here's the thing. I always say that people earn the right to know who you are. You do not have to go and, if you're not comfortable with it, devolve to your mom and your dad and your sister and your cousin, your grandma, all of the things. If it is not, if it doesn't feel in alignment with you, it depends on you. You get to make that decision. So for some people, they want to be like, this is who I am to the family, and boom. But for me, I intentionally choose not to talk to my family about the fact that I am a witch, I am fae, all of these things. And it's not because I'm ashamed of it. If they see this, and if they want to talk to me about it, I will absolutely share that with them. But I also come from a very conservative household where honestly they look at anything that is magic as like the devil. Seriously, you guys, it's really bad. So it's sort of a choose your battle situation, and it's 1-to-1. And I think that there's a lot of value in letting your freak flag fly, finding the people that are your people, and at the same time you get to choose how much you come out to who to when. Again, like you do not owe anybody.
Nope.
Like you do not owe anybody to tell them all about your personal stuff, who you are, how you identify. Like you don't owe anybody that. Is that Mia Black? Oh my God.
Mia. Oh my God, Mia! God, I like how everyone knows Mia from like different.
Okay, if we came in late, is there a way to rewatch this? Yes, there is a way to rewatch this. This is going to be live on the Psychic Fixes page, as well as my YouTube at That Witch Zoe, and as well as my
Facebook page.
My Facebook page. So it will be live. Also, we did get a question about another hour. We cannot do another hour. It is 9 o'clock. There are other shows that show up on Psychic Fixes. So
but we can maybe do it again.
I personally digress.
Right. I will talk with the group, and we will. I think we'll have to do a part two.
Yeah.
So if y'all want a part 2, give us a heart.
Or subscribe to Zoe's channel.
Yes.
Or Psychic Fixes.
Psychic
Fixes. Thank you.
Please subscribe to my channel, you guys. It's on YouTube at That Witch Zoe. Your subscriptions help me. I'm actually trying to reach 1,000 followers. As soon as I do that, I can actually start to monetize, which I know it's not going to be a lot of money, but every little bit helps because all of this is done for free. It's done for the love. It's done because I want to get information out there to all of you about all of the magic that exists in the world. So, thank you all for tuning in.
We love you. Thank you so much. Remember to be you guys. Be you. Say who you truly are. Don't let anyone change it. You got this.
Part 2. We will make a part 2. I will talk with the lovely people in this room, and we'll figure it out.
Be gay, do crime, sell Satan.
Bye.
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 Stay unsealy.